So one fellow says, well, Mr. Flanagan, he said, where have you been? He said, I was just getting on a Broadway car when I saw this crowd. So I says to the conductor, will the next car be very long? No, says he, they're all the same size. And says I, the most of the people get on the car when they're full. Well, as it is, says he, I'm running this car. Excuse me, says I thought the car was run by electricity. And now just then there was a lady got in, she had a little baby in her arms. She reached the conductor a $5 bill and he gave her a look and he says to her, is this your smallest? 'Tis, says she, I've only been married a year. Now when I got on the car I had only 7 cents in my pocket. A nickel and a penny. So I put it in my mouth. And then when the conductor gave the bell a ding ding, I lost my balance and I swallowed my fare. Now when I got on the car I got hold to a strap and I was swinging around like a ham on a hook. And the car gave a sudden jump and I was knocked in down to the other end and the fellow says to me, did you miss anything? I don't think so, says I think I hit everything in the car. So I stood up then to give the lady a seat and she asked me why I did it and I said I just wanted to see how I stood. So the conductor come up and he says to me, give me your fare. Can't give it, says I. Haven't you got it, says he? I have, says I. Well, give it to me, says he. I can't get at it, says I. And he says, come, cough, up. I started coughing. I coughed for about 2 minutes, but I couldn't raise me fare. Now the conductor went away and he come back again and he says, come up, come up, come up. That's right, says I, you talk to it. Maybe it'll come up for you, it won't for me. Says he, you're lying, I can see it in your face. You're mistaken, says I, you can't see it in my face, it's better down than that. Just then there was a fella come along and he asked the conductor if anything was broke. And he said, yes, this guy is broke. So he opened the back door and he said, well, that lets you out. Now, right, says I, give me my passport. No, I'm a Commodore, the conductor said to me, throw me off a number 90 car. Same old game, always be the same. You're bound to get the people on the Broadway car.
That's good. That's a good example. What about Casey taking the census? I understand that on stage one time you had to take the part of the man and the woman.
Yeah,
because the woman had a sore throat or something.
Yeah.
Would you give us a rendition of that?
Yes, you know, he come to the door, she first knocked, and he said, I don't like the job in taking the census. I had it much longer, I've loses me senses, and that's all it's about it. I have corns on me feet from walking around, and corns on me knuckles from knocking at the door. Now this is the finest place I could name in the job, and that's all about that. There's a face for you just coming in the door, the map of Ireland.
Well,
Well,
what do you want? What do you want?
what do I want? What do I want? Don't lose your excitement, madam. I'm taking the census.
If you take things like that, he'll have you arrested.
Now look here, you answer me the questions I subscribe for, he'll have you pinched.
Have me pinched for what?
For breaking the census, I'm a limb of the law.
A limb of the law. What's that?
I don't know what it is, but I'm it anyhow. Answer me the questions. What's your name?
Mrs. Mary Moriarty.
Mrs. Mary Moriarty. And how old are you?
I was.
Never mind how old you was. How old are you now?
I seen about 24 summers.
You've seen them?
Yes.
And how long were you blind?
I was never blind.
Shut up. Are you married or single?
I'm married.
Have your husband?
Yes.
Is he living?
Yes.
What for?
I don't know.
Well, does he work for a living?
He do.
He do. To whom does he do?
What?
To whom does he work?
What?
Where does he work?
He works in the bank.
And what does he do in the bank?
He's a director.
A director. What does he direct?
Envelopes.
That's the best joke I had for the week. Is that your own face you're on here?
What do you mean me talking to me like that?
Shut up. Did you make any donations to the Matrimonial Society?
What?
Have you any kids?
Kids?
Or children?
Yes. I have 5 almost.
You have 5 almost. You have 5 that you know of, that you're sure of.
Yes, yes.
And what are they, boys or girls?
Well, there's 3 boys and 3 girls.
So there's 6.
Yes, but one of them is twins.
No. What's the colour of them?
How dare you ask an honest married woman what's the colour of them? Who do you think I married? Get out of it, I slammed the door in your face. Get out of it!
Ah, please don't slam that door in my face, because I'm sick of the job.
That's great, Mr. English. You used to do that. You'd have a woman with you doing that
Yes,
sometimes, yeah.
But then, but you know, see, when I say, she'd say, get out of it, she'd bang me with the broom right out to the door. You know?
Is that right?
No, love, it is such a funny thing. It comes to young and old, just like a place of boarding house has to many a man in his soul. Makes you feel like a freshwater eel, cause your head to swell. You loses your mind, love is it blind, and empties your pocketbook as well. So boys, keep away from the girls, I say. Give them plenty of room. When you wed, they bang you on the head with a ball head at the end of the broom. When a fella is gone on a pretty little girl, he talks just as gentle as a dove. 'Cause there is honey, spends all his money to show he's solid on his love. 'Cause the living is high, the kids all cry, they have no grub to chaw. Hollows to his son to load up the gun while he vaccinates his mother-in-law. Boys, keep away from the girls, I say, give them plenty of room. When you wed, they bang you on the head with the ball at the end of the broom. Now, young men, take my advice, don't be in a hurry for the wed. You'll think you're in clover till your honeymoon is over, then you wish you were dead. Cross-eyed baby on each knee, a wife with a plaster on her nose. You'll think your love doesn't run so very smooth when you have to wear your second-hand clothes. Boys, keep away from the girls, I say, give them plenty of room. When you wed, they bang you on the head with a ball at the end of the broom.
That's good.
I think
What did it go like, chorus sound?
my lover's gone to France to seek a fortune in advance. When he come back, it'll be a chance. As a goodie number 4 in Slanta. Shul, like a law, shul, sagada, shul, draw. As a goodie, a sagaru, as a goodie number 4 in Slanta. My petticoat dyed red, around the world I'll beg my bread, until my parents wish me dead. As a godina, my born in slump. Shul, like a law, shul, sakata, shul, draw. As a godina, sagaru, as a godina, my born in slump. I'll sell my lac, I'll sell my reel. When my flax is spun, I'll sell my wheel and buy for my lover's sword and steel. As a godin and my bone in slumber. Shul, 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 gala, shul, sagre, shul, dra. As a godin, sagre. As a godin and my bone in slumber. I'll go up on yonder hill, where I'll sit and cry my fill, every tear tarn and mill, as a godin and my bone in slumber. Shul, 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 like a law, shul, sagre, shul, draw, as a godin and sagre, as a godin and my bone in slumber.
That's a good song. Gaelic song.
Really good. Yeah, it sounded Gaelic.
Yeah. Did the people out there sing it a lot?
What?
Did the people out there sing that song a lot? People on
They
the
used,
ranch?
yes, yeah. Used years ago.
Yeah.
She said to him, let me pass upon my way. He said to her, won't you stay, say, I'll not let you go until you kiss me, no. Ha 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 ha, 'tis fine today, top of the morning, breeze of perfume, fresh as a shamrock, covered with dew. Walk 100 miles just to see one of your smiles, peep into your Irish blue, that's true. Bridget, me darling, what'll I do? My heart is pumping, thinking of you. When I gaze upon your charms, I could roll you in my arms. Sure as you're born, top of the morn, Bridget McHugh.
Will you tell me that one about Paddy? He used to get drunk?
He was drinking all the time, you know, and the wife couldn't do nothing with him. Coming home all hours of the night. And he used to cross the graveyard, you know, on his way home. And she got in the priest to see what he could do about it. He said, I can't do very much about it. But he said, I have a plan, it might work. And now there was a grave after being dug in the graveyard, and he got a sheet and put it over and got down the grave.
Priest did.
Yes. And Paddy come along, he staggered up and said, who are you? Said, I am the devil. And you're just a chap, he said, I went to see you. He said, come to the house, I married your sister. What's that? No, but there was a fella down on the Labrador, from Newfoundland, you know, and he got run out of salt, see. And he had to come up. So when he come up, there was a meeting on, and he was to it. And he was up in front pew, and he was preaching on Lot's wife. She turned to a pillar of salt, and he was taking it pretty hard. And he come down to him after it was over. He said, there's one part in this sermon, he said, there's part in this sermon, he said, you took pretty hard. He said, what was it? He said, that part, he said, where you told about that woman, he said, that turned to a pillar of salt. If I had to have her on Labrador, I'd have another 100 quintals.
What about the time Paddy had to hide up in the loft?
Oh, that was the time, but the preacher, he wanted to make the people believe that he could bring the dove down from heaven, see? And he had a hatchway in the lower part of the church, and he had a cat up there for killing mice. So we put Paddy up there, and he was sing out. He was to shout out, you know, dove was end. And he shouted out, and Paddy was after falling asleep. And he roared out the top of his voice, dove was end. And Paddy woke up and threw his head down in the hole. He said, Mr. Minister, do you know what? He said, the cat ate the dog. Well, I send down the cat.
On them concerts, you used to have recitations, like, and the concerts you used to do out in Branch.
Yeah.
Remember that recitation, The Lobster Done It All?
Yes, I remember, yeah.
Would you be able to do that for us? There's your cap. You can stand up to do it if you like.
Stand up. He's round again. He says, oh, your grandma was no gentleman. I told him this. Last Saturday night I was invited by an old-time friend of mine to eat his lobster salads and drink his beer and wine. We drank a toast unto each other until the hour of 2. Me head was a kind of shaky, me legs was shaking too. But anyhow I staggered home and I think me prayers I said, but anyway I was paralyzed when I got into bed. I dreamt I died, I went to heaven, I met St. Peter at the gate and found repentance for me was just a bit too late. You go out, St. Peter says, you know you can't come in, you know you have to suffer for that awful gluttoness of sin. Now just then I turned away to hide me grief and shame, and I saw St. Peter's clerk close by, wrote lost above my name. Now the next that came was a Hebrew and a friend whom I knew well, and I listened to the story that he had to tell. Oh, goodly Father Peter, I come to you at last, that when the quest I asked of you if you would let me a pass. On earth I kept my clothes in the store, me clothes are good and strong, and just to show you an overcoat I forgot where to fetch it along. You go out, St. Peter says, and very well you know, there's little use for overcoats in the place where you got to go. Next that came was an old maid, and she was bound to have her say, and she addressed St. Peter in a peculiar sort of way.
Oh, goodly Father Peter, I come to you at last. There's one request I ask of you, if you would let me pass. Oh, blessed Father Peter, won't you let me in and give me a nice little place to myself, away from those naughty men?
You go out, St. Peter says, no angels have grey hairs. You got no sons nor daughters, so you cannot come in here. The poor old maid, she turned away, forever to repine, like me and all the rest of us, she sent it in the line. The next that came was Paddy, a son of Valerian's Isle, and he addressed St. Peter in a loving, gracious smile. Is this yourself, St. Peter, and you're looking so nice and sweet? Open the door and let me in and show me to me seat. Oh no, my boy, your case like the rest must be tried. You got to show a pass for it before you get inside. Oh, hurry up, St. Peter, up or supper I'll be late. He then took off the old slouch hat and he threw it inside the gate. Go get that hat, St. Peter says, you're like a religious slouch. Pat walked in, he shut the gate and he locked St. Peter out. Now through the keyhole, Paddy cried, I'm skipper now, you see. I give up your case, St. Peter, if you'll set our island free. Now when I awoke, my head was jammed between the bed and wall. Me feet were tangled in the quilts and lobsters done it all.
Well done. Well done. Yeah. What
I'm
are-
a good and faithful servant. But I've been faithful over a few things.
What about, you used to sing songs on them concerts too, Irish songs and the like.
Yes.
You sang one for Mr. O'Brien there the other night. O'Brien have no place to go.
Yes. Innes O'Brien. You see?
I'll help you with it.
And got on the floor. Now Dennis O'Brien had 3 daughters fine, the fairest young girls on the block. And between you and me every night after tea, to O'Brien's the boys they would flock. Young Jimmy Clancy stepped in to see Nancy McKenny, stepped in to see Rose. Young Jimmy Kelly stepped in to see Nell, to plead to her father she goes. Don't go into the front room, Dad, Nancy's in there with her collar.
Daddy dear, won't you stay out here? Rosa's her friend in the parlor. Don't go into the kitchen, Dad. I'll be out there with my bow. Since all of his girls have got steady young men, O'Brien has nowhere to go. Last Saturday night, O'Brien got tight. He says to himself, now we'll see. Those young galoots dressed up in dude suits make a wandering Jew out of me. Out went McFadden, O'Brien, Brogan, Jimmy Kelly and Clancy fell sore. They went over the stoop like an acrobat's stoop. O'Brien will hear this no more. Don't go into the front room, Dad. Nancy's in there with her collar. Daddy dear, won't you stay out here? Rosa's her friend in the parlor. Don't go into the kitchen, Dad. I'll be out there with my bow. Since all of his girls have got steady young men, O'Brien has no place to go.
Yes, indeed. How long were you at that, the concerts and that? Did they go on very long? 2 or 3 hours? Or how often in the year was it?
Play go 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you know. We had one play called Irish Agent. It was, and the landlord was after him, say, for the rent. And they hadn't much money, and then his daughter was sick, and she died on stage, and the priest was to her mom. And they come in to put him out of the house, and just she died. See? And the priest put up his hand and said, don't desecrate the house of the dead. And then the next scene, the grave was on the stage, the cross and all, see. And another one called the Peepo Day Boys.
The what?
Peepo Day. The born in Dealish. And another one called Handy Andy. There was a great story too, but Handy Andy was the fellow who was going, he'd done everything wrong. And I happened to be Handy Andy. Yeah. See, he was a boy, you know, he got straight away when he was small from his mother, see. Another one found him. He took him in and reared him. And now her husband died, and there was a fortune left to this child. And the deeds of our marriage was in the hands of O'Grady. And there was a whole crowd after O'Grady, and then O'Grady had his crowd. They were trying to get the deeds of our marriage. But they did. He got on the stage examining the deeds, and she come out. They called her Mad Nance because she was nearly crazy, see? And she reached out over his shoulder and grabbed the deeds. And she shouts out, he went into her then, and she shouts out, help, help. So Handy Andy run to her, help. She didn't know he didn't know who she was. See? Well, he had a sweetheart then, just as droll as Handy Andy, see, own. She come out on one side, he come out on the other, and he get in front of her. She said, let me pass, Andy. Can't you pass till see you pass? What do you stop me for? Because I'm fond of you. So, she said, she said, they found him under a cabbage stump, she said, in the gardens. found her. He said, and didn't I take you to the water? He said, no, wash you clean. When you were dry on one side, and I turn you over on the other. So in the last of it, anyhow, she had the deeds, and he was turned out to be her son. And she said, I want you to wed the girl you wooed in poverty. He said, I'll go out tonight, he said, if the master let me. You're now master, my boy. She said, you're now the Duke of Ulster. Holy Farmer, my Duke. He says, what will I have for a Duke? He said, I'll buy Johnson's car. He said, I put a gold band on my head, but that do for a Duke. So, and the last answer, my blunder smaller end of all, no words I will not bandy, and if in grief you'll seek relief, come and see poor Handy Andy. Now an elderly man I'm going to tell you, late from Ireland sailed away. He wasn't contented in where he lived, made up his mind to go away. Early next morning the ship was sailing, Queenstown Harbour, Canaan, Cork, and 8 days she was sailing over until he landed in New York. Up and down the street Pat wandered, each big building cocked an eye, and looking up at the big shop window, public house he chanced to spy. Me gog says, Pat, I'll have refreshments before I'll travel any more. Such as rum, champagne, or whiskey, I would have on Erin shore. Into the barroom Paddy entered, called for the drink without delay. Then give the glass of your Irish whiskey, for big coppers I will pay. The landlord smiled when he heard the recommends, a different country you may see, but the whiskey here it is more dearer, why don't you pay the rights to me? Go along, says Pat, you dirty rascal, you going to rob me far from home. For I robbed by Irish landlord, that's the reason I did roam. Success and tend all Irish people, many a country they have strayed, but their courage is more dearer when they're far across the sea. The landlord jumped out over the counter, pay me down, that Billy said. And Paddy up with his big shillelagh, knocked him on the floor half dead. The two of them they fell a boxing, rows and ructions then came on, and the news went out among the people, Yankee killed by an Irishman. 50 Yankees then came running when they heard about the row, all running to kill poor Irish Paddy, shouting out, where is he now? 50 Irishmen followed them without delay, and each of them with their big shillelaghs made the Yankees run away. Success and tend all Irish people, many a country they have roamed, but their courage is more dearer when they're far away from home.
That's a good one.